I'll share the screen. Okay, takes time to share the screen, but let me know if you can see the screen. Then I'll come to Surah Nur.
We can see the screen.
You can? Okay,
yes.
Good. So ayah number you said?
4.
Okay. Okay, so let me clean it up a little bit for you. Okay.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna start now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون. So يغفر, so he will forgive, which is a verb.
What kind? What kind of the verb it is?
What kind?
Maz or muzare?
Oh, maz muzare. Oh, it's actually yaghfir is muzare.
Is amar actually.
Oh.
No, it's muzare. You are right. Yeah. Not amar, because ya is there. So
yeah.
So it's muzare, okay, because of the ya. Okay? But it's not yaghfiru. Actually, muzare is ghafara, yaghfiru. Ghafara, yaghfiru.
Yeah.
Right? But what you have over here? Yaghfir instead of yaghfir. So what does that mean?
Does it mean that it's a different term?
It means this dhamma is like converted to sukun.
Yeah. Yes.
So when that happened, we says this muzare has become majzoom.
Majzoom.
Because this sukun is called jazm in Arabic. So we are saying that it has become majzoom. Now, when it becomes the majzoom, there is always a reason for majzoom, right? So over here is conditional, because in the earlier ayah, it was like like worship me, worship Allah, wattaquhu, and fear him, and atiuni. And the Prophet is saying, Prophet Nuh is saying to his qawm that you should obey me, right? Worship Allah, fear Allah, and obey me, right? Because I have brought his ahkam to you, his rulings, his decree to you guys. So you should obey whatever I say. You should do. You should follow me. You should obey me, right?
Yes.
If you would do that, then yaghfir lakum, Allah will forgive you. Yaghfir, he will forgive you, right?
Yes.
Right? So that's why. So there was a condition. Condition was like, okay, if we worship Allah, we fear Allah, and we do the atat of the Prophet, what happens if we do that, right? Then this is called jawab-e-shart, answer to that condition, right? It's fulfilling that condition, right? If there is a condition, there should always be a fulfillment. Okay. So this is like if you do all those things, then Allah will forgive you, right? Even though you did like all your life, like Prophet Nuh, how many years he did the preaching? 9,000 years, 900 years, sorry.
950, right?
950. I'm just putting one more zero.
Yeah.
900 years. So he preached for 900 years, and so it means that if Prophet Nuh was living for 900 years, then the people would also be living for those many years, right? And there is also I'm not too sure about the validity of the chain of narration of that hadith, where it says that a woman came to Prophet Nuh and said, oh, his son died and he was only 300-year old. So Prophet Nuh said, like, okay, he lived his life. Don't expect him to live for 900 years, because there would be a time where people would live only 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, or 100 years at the max. Right? And that woman said, if I have that short life, then I won't even get up from my sujood. I would always be in the sujood, because that's such a short life, right? And her son was 300-year old, and she thought like he was too young to die, right? So all the people would be like that old as well. And if somebody did sin for 900 years, but if he start listening to Prophet Nuh, what's going to happen? The condition would be fulfilled. If he worship, if he start fearing Allah, and if he start obeying the Prophet, then Allah will yaghfir lakum, will forgive them.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you say that majzoom changes the dhamma into a jazm, how does that work? Is there like a form that it goes through, or does it just change?
It's just a change, right? So
how would you know it's a change?
Because you don't see the dhamma on that. It should have been yaghfiru lakum, but it is not yaghfiru lakum. What it is? Yaghfir lakum.
Okay.
Right? So you know your muzare. You know muzare is ghafara yaghfiru. So you always question that it should have been yaghfiru. Why it is yaghfir, right? Right? So when you start asking the question, then you know there is a form called majzoom, that when the dhamma change to majzoom, jazam, then it is called majzoom. It can go another thing as well. It would be yaghfira instead of yaghfiru. And you say like, hold on, why is yaghfira? It should have been yaghfiru, right? Then you would know that it is mansoob, right? What is the name for the fatha? Mansoob. So there are two forms. So that's why we started with only Maz and Muzare and Amar. We didn't give you Majzoom because it's so easy. Only Dhamma changes to Jazam or Dhamma changes to Fatha. Okay? Yeah. So if it is changed to Jazam, then it becomes Majzoom. If it's changed to Fatha, then it becomes Mansoob. Right?
Okay. Yes.
And we always question that why it is like, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala suddenly, like now we are expert of Maz and Muzare, then I don't understand this jazam, then there is always a reason, right? Now over here, usually it is, if it is la yaghfir, lam yaghfir, right? If there is a lam before, it can become yaghfir as well. But lam, then I'll share a list of those words which make it majzoom. But there is no such word before that. Then you have to find another reason, and another reason is there is always a condition. There is condition in the first ayah, which says if, like there is like an, which is kind of if an comes in the beginning, it is almost translated as if you worship Allah, if you fear Allah, if you atiuni, like obey me, like Prophet is saying, then what? Then yaghfir lakum, Allah will forgive you, right? So it's a condition, right? If you do this, this would happen, right? So this is called jawab-e-shart in Arabic, right? And this is a good thing. You are getting familiar with majzoom. You already try to say that word, pronounce that word. It would help you in the long term, right? So it's called jawab-e-shart. The condition is called shart, right? In Urdu, sorry, in Arabic, right? We are not doing Urdu, right? but Urdu and Arabic are quite similar, right? Not quite, but almost, right? So so one is the shart, the condition, and the other is jawab shart, right? Answer to that condition or the fulfillment of that condition. Okay.
Yes.
So there, yeah, your ayah today, I think more than ayah, you learned the grammar, which is very good, Khadija. Like, yeah, this is the way we have to learn our verbs. For until what? Until 25 ayah, right?
Yes.
After doing, if you do this way, if you learn those basic rules, if you do this way until 25 ayah, you would be ready to jump on to the nouns, which is little, I won't say difficult, because Allah said Quran is easy. It's not difficult, but it would be a new concept and you have to do a little bit more learning, right? So now you are becoming the expert of the verbs, but now you are going a step ahead. You learned the Maz and Muzare, and now you are learning Majzoom and Mansoob as well.
Mansoob, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, good. Anybody has any question on that? Majzoom or Mansoob?
Okay, can you just explain this concept of Mansoob again?
Okay.
What is Mansoob?
So let's have Ghafara, right? Ghafara, you learn Muzare. Can you help me with Ghafara? Ghafara, Ghafaru. Okay, Ghafaru. And after that, Ghafarta.
Ghafartum, Ghafartu, Ghafarna.
Right. Ghafarta, Ghafartu, Tum. Okay. Ghafartu, Ghafartu, Ghafarna. Right. This is what? This is this is Maz. What is this?
Maz.
This is Maz. And Maz in Arabic terminology, it is kind of a perfect verb. What kind of a verb it is? Perfect verb. So there is not a chance of changing anything over here, right? This cannot be ghafaru, right? The last letter would carry always the same thing. See, because it's perfect. Like if I have eaten an apple, that's gone, that's eaten, that's digested, right? I cannot change it and bring it back to the same apple, right? Its shape and everything has changed. It's gone. It's the past. It's a history, right? But now I go yaghfira, yaghfiru, sorry. Yaghfiru, yaghfiru, yaghfiruna. Sorry, इसको ठीक से लिखो. yaghfiruna, taghfiru, taghfiruna, aghfiru, naghfiru, right? Right? And this is Muzare, right? Muzare is like I am eating an apple, or I eat an apple, or I will eat an apple. It's like a future and the present, right? There's no distinction between the future and the present, but like you read the context and you can figure it out if it's like talking about the future or the present. Okay. If I say I eat an apple, right? It means like I'm just saying that I eat sometime, I do not eat sometime. Like it's just too many versions we can do over here. Can you give me a second? Okay, hold on. Hello. वालेकुम सलाम. जी मेरी इस वक्त क्या टाइम हुआ है? 12th तक class है. Can I call you back? Just after that. I'm in the Quran class. Inshallah, I'll call you back. Inshallah. All right. Allah. Right. So you guys can hear?
Yes.
Okay. Yaghfiru, right? Like if I say I eat an apple, I ate an apple, that's a past. Like it's been gone, it has changed its form. I eat an apple. This is like a general statement. I eat apple sometime, maybe I eat daily, I will eat or I will not eat, right? No idea. Even if I'm in the middle of the eating, I might stop eating half of the apple, right? I might not eat the full apple, right? So there are so many combinations. So present and the future are so like
Very imperfect.
they are imperfect, right? So if they are imperfect, they can change their forms. So when we say that forms, and you will understand the meaning of those forms and everything later on, right? But just think about that. Like the ghafara can be ghafara, always ghafara, right? It cannot change the form unless like it's a passive. That's a different form altogether. But that would be a passive of the mas. But yaghfiru can become yaghfir. Yaghfir with the jazm, and yaghfiru can become yaghfira with the fatha. Yaghfira, right? So this is majzoom, majzoom, and this is mansoob, right?
Okay.
Right? And for us, like I think people have done like a lot of work, and they have already, like, we don't even have to think about it. Of course, we would know this is a jazam. It's not yaghfiru, because you have learned so far yaghfiru, yaghfiruna, taghfiru, taghfiruna. But it's not so much of a learning, because there are only two possibilities. Either it would be majzoom or it would be mansoob.
Okay.
Right? But there is a list of words which comes before. If they are before yaghfiru, then it would become yaghfir. And there are 18 words which can make something mansoob, right? So I will provide you the list of those words. And if you see those words, after that, you will see always it with the fatha, not with the original form. Original form is yaghfiru, marfu, right? Right? When dhamma is called the marfu form, and this is a majzoom form, this is a mansoob form. Okay?
Okay.
Right? So, and yaghfiruna, the noon would drop. So sometime you would see yaghfiru, noon is dropped, right? Yaghfiru. So this is called the majzoom form of the yaghfiruna.
Okay.
See? And taghfiru will become taghfir. Taghfir. And it would be taghfira. Right? So one would be majzoom, and then taghfiruna would be taghfiru. The noon would drop. So we will say, yeah, it's the majzoom form of the plural. Taghfiru. Taghfiru. Aghfiru would become aghfir. Right? And naghfiru will become naghfir.
Okay.
समझ आया? Khadija? Good?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Right? So, yeah. So, yaghfir lakum, over here, and the logic I was trying to explain, over here, we don't have even the letter. I'll give you the list, but over there is no letter before, right? It's simply yaghfir. Then there is another rule which say if there is like something, if start with the if or an, then there is always like a jawab-e shart. And Jawabi Shart is always majzoom. So it says like if you do this, do this, do this, then Allah will forgive you. Yaghfir lakum. Right?
Yes. Okay. Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. يغفر لكم ذنوبكم. So he will forgive your sins. وَيُؤَخِّرْكُمْ, and give you respite, meaning give you time and delay your end. So that is also a verb.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. And
I,
that's majzoom too. Yeah.
yes. So I do need help on the muzari because I didn't understand how to do with alif, but I know the maz, which is alif, ghain and ra. The root
Of yaghfir.
Mm-hmm. Is it, what are the root words for it? Is it alif, ghain and ra, or is it ya, ghain and ra?
Kha. This should be kha, right?
Yeah.
Akhara.
Yes, akhar, right? Akharu, akharta, akhartu.
Yeah. So,
Akhar.
so you know that, right?
Yeah, I
But
know
over here is like akhara. So it's
akhar.
the second form.
Okay.
Akhara.
And this is
And
for the muzare, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Akhara yuakhiru. Right?
Yes.
Sorry, with the dhamma. How is it written over there? Yuakhiru with the hamza on it, right?
Yes.
So they put a vowel there, right? Yuakhiru. This is actually, wow is just the container, right? There's the
Yes.
milk you can put in a carton, right? Only
Yes.
milk cannot stay like that, right? So
Yes.
hamza, because this is actually hamza, right? So hamza over here you put like a container like alif. Over here you put, because there is a dhamma, then the container would be wow, right? There was a fatha, so container would be like alif, right? So
Yes.
you akhiru. That is so this is a second form. This was the first form. So it was akhara ya'khuru, but it's akhara you akhiru, right?
Yes.
But it becomes again, it become a jazam, so it became you akhir. Because because it's the answer to the same condition, right? If you do this, Allah would forgive you with your sin, and Allah will delay your stay over here in this world. Like He would give you more time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you learn the yaghfir and you learn the yu'akhir. Good.
Yes. Is it okay if you could go back down so I could take a picture really quickly? Because I want to write this down. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what? You are planning to go to the Islamic school? Yeah, here is that. Yeah. You will find it that you already know all those things they would try to teach you, and you would find it so much easy, right? Inshallah.
Yes. Okay. And then يؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى. So it's and delay your end until the appointed time. So until the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's inna ajalallahi iza jaa la yu'akhiru. So that is indeed when the time set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, it cannot delay. So when the time of end comes, it cannot delay. And then lo kuntum ta'lamun, which is if only you knew. So that's also a verb. So the muzare, for the root words for that, it's ayn, lam, and mim. And then it's alama. Actually, wait. So for the word for ta'lamun is in muzare, fourth form, ta'lamuna.
Alima. So why you say the fourth form? Alima ya'lamu.
No, for the muzare.
So why is the fourth form?
Because it's ta'lamun.
So ta'lamun with a zabar. So if it's a fourth form, then it's ta'lamun, right? It's ya'lamu, ya'lamuna, ta'lamu.
Oh, it's third. It's third, right? Then
When you say form, what do you mean
Oh,
by?
sorry, not form, just like the fourth one in like the
Oh,
line.
fourth one in the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
Not
you
fourth form.
okay. The identify that you say is singular
Yes.
third person,
Okay.
because it's talking about a he, right?
Yeah.
It's a plural third person, right?
Yeah. It's plural.
Plural. And this is a second person because it's talking directly to you, right? So it's
Yes.
singular first person, plural second person, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like a singular first person means
And then
I, and singular plural first person, right? So
yes.
this would be not the fourth form, but
Yeah.
it
Plural
would be
second.
second person, right? Talking to somebody, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in Arabic, it's called ghaib. Ya'lamu is like a ghaib, like the person is not present, right?
Mhm.
So it's a wahid ghaib, right? And this is jama, jama ghaib, right? And this is mutakallam.
Is this
Mukhatib.
what they're called for to signify them?
Yeah, mukhatib,
Okay.
right? Mukhatib, and this is mutakallam, the person who is talking. Mutakallam. But like you will come to know, inshallah.
Okay.
Right? The more you time you spend, the more familiar you'll get, right? So
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see your interest in the grammar. Inshallah, that would take you very long way, and you would enjoy the Quran very, very much. Inshallah. Okay.
Yes.
So ta'alamun is the first form. Form when I say is allama, alima, allama, right? That
Yeah.
kind, right? Those are the 10 forms which I showed you earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are those forms like called in total? Like, you know how they each have like different names, for example, Maz, Mozai, and stuff like that. What are the forms called?
Oh, they are difficult. Like if you would ask me, I should be ashamed of myself that it's a it's a tafal, tafil,
Oh, they
something
all
like.
have different names?
Yeah, they all
Oh,
have different name, and they are little difficult as well, right?
yeah.
So beside Pakistan, right, I haven't seen Arabic people paying that much attention to those names. They are difficult, but it's not that difficult. You would know ultimately. It's Babe Tafal, Tafil, something like that, right? Because when they teach the Arabic, they use the verb fa'ala to teach you the whole gardan and everything. We did different verbs, so it's not getting confused, right?
Yeah.
But when you go to the Arabic class, they will say, oh, fa'ala, and then they will make the fa'ala to fa'ila, but there is no such word, right? But
Yeah.
that's their argument is like, okay, we are just telling you that fa'ala, there would be a fa and lam, right? So when they do daraba, they say fa is dwad, ra is and ba is lam. That
Oh
becomes
no.
that becomes more
Yeah,
complicated.
that would
And
make
then,
you really confused.
yeah, and then they name it because it is becoming from fa'ala, so they say it's tafil, it's tafal, it's tafal. I don't know, I don't even know the whole
Yeah.
thing, right? But so I say form 1, form 2, and there are English book which make it easy for the non-Arabs or even Arab, even one Arabic person. He said like, why I have to learn those names, right? But in Pakistan, because Pakistan is ahead of the grammar, so even the Arab people, they go to Pakistan to learn Arabic grammar. You know that in
Oh,
Lahore, there is like a very good academy to teach these Arabic. So all the Arab people, if they want to really learn Arabic, they go to Pakistan, to Lahore,
no. I
right?
didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and even on the YouTube, so you would find only the Pakistani doctors, like they are the doctors in the linguistic, and they are teaching all those Arabic, and all the world is being benefited by those Pakistani grammarians, right? So they
Yeah.
are the one who teach the actual names of those. But other than that, in my school so far nobody has used those words. So alhamdulillah, I'm still safe. But they are kind of, yeah, if we try to learn, we will ultimately learn. But I mean, our purpose is right now to understand the Quran a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then inshallah, we can just research the everything in the grammar, inshallah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so form 1, form 2 is quite good enough, but this is form 2 because this has a tashdid on it, right? So
Yes.
akhara, yuakhiru, right? And
Yeah.
ta'lamu is like a first form, right? Alima, ya'lamu, and ya'lamuna, ta'lamuna, right?
So for akhara, it would be second form for all of it, right? For like Maz Muzari, because that's like a whole, right?
Yeah, but you don't once you get the more experience, if you can do akhara, you akhiru. If you know these two form, if you know the maz and the muzare, you don't have to go and make the whole gardan,
Yeah.
right? The whole gardan was like, okay, if you cannot make up your mind like what it is it a maz or is it a muzare, then you can start writing, right? So it's a good practice to do one or two once in a while, okay?
Yes.
But if you can understand that, oh yeah, this is a muzare, if you can identify now, it's good enough. You don't have to write, right? But
Yes.
if you want to write, and if you still want to do your ayah and you want to take care responsibility of all your verbs, it's a good idea to do one or two so you get the practice out of it, right? Because you guys, like I gave you guys like only one verb to do, right? But the other people, they did like 10 verbs for each, so they get more practice. So you guys still didn't get the practice. So I thought like maybe when you do the ayah, just pick up a verb and say, okay, I'll just say akhara, akharu, akharta, akhartu. Like you write the whole gardan, right? And if you are not too sure, I'll share with you. Like you don't have to. Okay, I'll share you with something. It's a good thing. I am I'm getting very excited that you are taking so much interest in the grammar part, right?
Yeah.
And hey guys, I mean, like you guys should follow Khadija's style, inshallah, right? It's very good, right? Because when you go and start learning the Islam, then those things are easy for you, right? I'll show you one thing. This is my cheat sheet, Khadija.
Yes.
So this is called Acon. This is an app. It's costed me only $5, and then it's a lifetime app. But I think they have increased the charges now for $12, and I don't blame them because they did a wonderful job. Because, for example, you are doing akhara. Let's see, it's not that great because sometimes it's missing the word.
Yeah.
But let's say if they have akhara. I don't think they have akhara. Let me write something here. Let me write kha. I'll go into the Arabic. I'll just say kha, and then everything which has kha in it. Kharra. Kharra is not from akhara. Maybe. No, this is kharra. This is different. Akhara. Kha. Let's check with kha. They should have kha. Okay, they don't have akhara, but like let's take sakhara, right? So the same concept, right? Sakhara, you sakhiru, right? So you want to see this is the first form, right? First form, and you want to do Maz. Maz is Sakhira, right? And Muzare is Yaskharu, right?
Mhm.
Now you want to go to the form 2. See the little the
Yeah.
forms, right? It has told you all the forms, right?
Oh, see, now I understand because I thought words has specific forms, but the words have all forms, but it depends on where it fits into.
Yeah, and the names are also there. I never paid attention. Now, good thing you mentioned that. And now fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'il, fa'ala, af'ala, tafa'al, tafa'il, anfa'al, afta'al. But for me, it's a little difficult, right?
Yeah.
I just remember that, okay, the first one is sakhira, then you have to increase a letter, sakhara, then you have to put an alif and it's sakhara. The same thing, like if you
Yeah.
take the verb fa'ala and if you start, so it would become the name. So fa'ala, 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 af'ala, uh, tafa'al, tafa'al, anfa'al, afta'al. So is the same thing like what the
Yeah.
rules we did. If you apply the rule, you would know their actual name as well. But these names become more difficult when you go into the noun. Then it becomes taf'il and tafalil, or I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like they are too difficult, right? But the names are there as well, right? So that's a very good app. But it doesn't have almost all the verbs. But we will discuss another thing. It's called Conjugator. That's a free app. It's not free app, but it only has like a form 1. Sometime if you know the form 2 and you just spell it out completely, then it can give you the form 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be good thing as well. So yeah, once you get little advanced, then you would like utilize those resources as well. Okay.
Okay.
And another thing, yeah, that's a good thing. You are like, yeah, thank you, Khadija. Right? So everybody would be learning so much from you, right? Inshallah. There is another thing called corpus Quran. See, corpus Quran. So you are what surah you are?
Surah Nur.
So I'll go to Surah Nuh, for example, right? So this is called Corpus Quran. The name is there, corpus.quran.com. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go Corpus Quran and if you go Surah Nuh, which ayah you are doing?
4.
4. So you go ayah number 4. So you go ayah number 4. It says Yaqfir, right? Now you read Yaqfir is third person masculine singular imperfect verb and Jussive mood, right? Jussive is difficult, so
Yeah.
I always say majzoom, right? Fil muzare majzoom. It's
It
written.
breaks everything down.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
See, there, I share everything, right? I wanted you guys to be ready for it, right? So
Yeah.
now your part, like your presentation, first time you wanted to ask so many questions. So I'm sharing that now. It looks like you are ready. You can get into those corpus Quran and identify everything, right? It's not called a cheating. Like you are getting a little support if I'm not there, for example, right? And
Yeah.
if you want to know yourself and you cannot figure it out, you can go on to the corpus Quran. The afzal thing is that you try to first figure out yourself, so you learn, right? If we always just copy it down, then we don't learn, right? So we use it when we are not. So I'm in the class, like there are higher classes as well, right? So I'm in the class and I cannot figure it out, right? They cannot figure it out. They ask me and I also cannot figure it out. So I just open the corpus Quran and say what it says in here. But again, in the corpus Quran, so far, I have like so many groups. We have 2 or 3 verbs which corpus didn't identify correctly, right?
Oh.
So yeah, so that's why I won't say this is a Bible, just like go and use it, right? So
Yeah.
use with care. Use it with care. So first do your learning so you can prove it wrong. So we alhamdulillah, like myself and like my group, we proved it wrong. We said no, this is not the right one. So what we came up was with the right one, right? So
Yeah.
this is just a support, just like a dictionary. You use dictionary sometime, but not all the time, right? You try to learn the things yourself, and then you start using those support things once you are stuck somewhere or doing research. So this is another source. It's called Corpus Quran.
Safia, is this also a paid site or it is
No,
available?
this is the no. This is free. This is free. Corpus Quran is free,
Okay.
right? And this is a lot more things, like it has Quranic dictionary. See, like if I go like this is yeah, let's do it. Like no more presentation, but I think Roya already know all these things, right? Roya, I've shared with you.
Yeah, you shared with me.
Yeah, right.
So your sister, you said we should not use it all the time, this Corpus Quran?
Yeah, otherwise how would you learn it, right? If you don't know, like Khadija came up with Yaghfiru herself, right? She
Yeah.
came up with Yaghfiru herself. So if she would just look at and she would say, oh, this is this, then she won't start thinking and learning, right? Now
Okay.
she doesn't need to use it all the time. Only time she need to use it when she could, like she would be stuck on some word, and she would say, okay, what it is, or sometimes the root word is not coming. For example, I go to the Yaghfir. So when I click on the one word Yaghfir, it says the root word is ghain fa, right?
Yeah.
It says that in the beginning, right? And then if I want to see how many time Ghafara came in the Quran, I'll click on the dictionary, click Quranic dictionary, see how many times the Ghafara came in the Quran, right? 65 times form 1, 40 times form 10, 5 times like a Ghaffar, 91 times like a nominal verb Ghafoor. You will see all the analysis over here. Right? Khadija, isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Right? So these are the means you can just learn a lot from, right? And one Pakistani guy, Aisha is there, and Aisha Moms is very good and expert in almost like in that 360 Quran use. That's a Urdu side, just like a Corpus Quran. There's like a Pakistani guy, he has created way more than that, but that's in Urdu, right? So you guys, even including Aisha, you guys are like English medium, so I don't think you guys would be able to use 360 site as much, but that's a wonderful site as well. Okay, but again, in the end, these are just there for helping. Okay, not to be used all the time, because how would you learn, right? When we started the course, we could have said, oh, why don't you go this, read the ayah and just go back to like the ayah and just pick out like what they are from there. That won't be learning, right? But now you know how to make the muzare, now you know how to make the mas, now you know how to make even the majzoom and the mansoob, right? Understand?
Yes.
Let's go back to your ayah. So can you just like read the whole ayah one time?
With the meaning or
Yeah, just like now you
Okay.
analyze it, what is maz and what is muzare, and we learn
Yes.
new things like majzoom thing over here. But now can you read the whole thing?
Yes. يغفر لكم sorry, one second. يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر. لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون. So he will forgive your sins and delay your end until the appointed time. Indeed, when the time set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, it cannot be delayed, if only you knew.
Mhm. So now I'm doing a little bit tricky question. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through his ayat said like he will forgive your sin and he would give you more time, right?
Mhm.
So is it a possibility like we ask forgiveness and our time is delayed for the ajal?
I think what it means is that I'm not fully sure, but I think what it means is that he'll give us more time to understand the Quran and find more opportunities to know like our like Quran properly and like religion and stuff like that.
Mashallah. Yeah, that's exactly because the time of the death is already written. It's not going to change, right? So when this ayah says Allah will give you more time, it doesn't mean that he will just allocate like if we have 100 years, then he would add 10 more years for
No.
our because he has forgiven us. No, that's not the point. If we are going to live till 90, then that's it, right?
Mhm.
At that age, we have to go. But what Allah is saying, he will give you more time because Allah is also the creator of the time, right? What I think, like I have like limited years till 90 and I don't have barakah in it, but maybe when I seek forgiveness and do good deeds, listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what would happen? That Allah will give me so much barakah, right? As Khadija said, we will get more opportunity to learning, right? Getting the ilm is our risk, okay? And the time we can allocate, maybe we sometimes we think, oh, we are missing on the exam, like I might do my preparation for the exam instead of learning Quran. But we don't know, like maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make that hour. We won't even feel it, but it might, we spend the 1 hour in Quran, but Allah might make that day look like, or make our brain so sharp that we will study the other things or do the other things in no time, right? The the learning the dunyavi concept for our university exam or our school exam, sometimes we spend 4 hours. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would just like sharpen our brain because of the Quran, and we would be able to do that 2 hours. So didn't Allah give us more time now,
Yes.
right? So yeah, like Khadija's understanding is super. Thank you, Khadija. You explained it properly. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. So anybody has a question? You guys understand this ayah? It was beautiful ayah, and
Yeah, it's really interesting.
yeah, and the way Khadija started asking about the verbs and everything, that's the way I think every one of us should try to learn the Quran, inshallah. Okay, I think we
Yeah.
don't have more time to do the presentation, but I like today's presentation a lot, mashallah.
Jazakallah.
Yeah, so now I think every one of you, like I mean whatever your interest, I'm seeing like Khadija is more inclined towards learning Islam, because in North America, over here in Canada, among the young children, Islam and Quran is getting really, really popular, right? So I think, mashallah, Khadija has a right influence, and she is going in the right direction. It doesn't mean that we would leave the dunya, because Quran is one thing, but we still want to be independent financially and do our dunyavi responsibility in the same manner as well, right, Khadija? So if
Yes.
somebody is a scientist and he is explaining the Quran, people would say, oh yeah, he is already so much successful in dunya and he knows Quran, right? They would be our factor, and the people would start listening to that person, right? Or think about, like, if you are unable to if you are not financially strong, right? And if you are unable to just go to the best Islamic school, that would be kind of like a sad thing, right? So if dunya is good and we can have the financial means taken care of, and then we are learning Islam at the same time, that's a very good combination, right? Of course, Quran is always the priority, and as Allah says that He would give us more time and more means and more barakah. So we should make sure that we keep learning Quran, right? But it doesn't mean like we forget our farz kafaya. There is like two farz, like one is like obligatory by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but then we have some fara'id, some obligation which is towards the society, which is towards the dunya, right? For example, we have to take care of ourselves, like we have good food, good clothing, good living status, right? That's their obligation to ourselves. Then of course the family comes, and of course the parents at certain time, the parents are old, so Islam has a very a lot of obligation, like always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says walidain, right? The second, the very first priority in a society is your parents, right? Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say like your kids. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said your parent comes first, right? So those priorities are defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to make sure that whatever we do, all our priorities are set properly. Okay?
Just one question, sister. Do you
Sure.
know any Islamic or Arabic? You said it's good in Pakistan. Any popular universities so I can do online?
There would be online would be, I think the only way is Al Huda. I think Khadija is the one who, Khadija, you would have the Al Huda's address. But then
Yes.
I said like Al Huda is just like Roya, you are still trying to figure out your everything over here, the life over here, right?
Yeah.
So, and Al Huda is like a very heavy duty, right? And as I see, like sometimes you are able to join, sometimes you are not able
Yeah.
to join. So
Okay.
they are not the school which would just allow you not to attend,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
so I told Khadija, because Khadija is like how old are you? 15, right? Khadija. So I told her that, okay, you don't want to get like started with I'm not too sure about Al Huda because I never, but I have seen the student of Al Huda. They have to spend a lot more time on their learning in Al Huda. But I go to Al Siraj because I still work. So I thought I am going to Al Siraj, and they are very like how should I say, lenient,
Okay.
right? Their objective is that we are connected to Quran and Sunnah and Hadith, and they are the very proper school. They are recognized in 40 big university. So once you are so busy, just like I am busy and you are busy, and Khadija is just like would be getting into the university, and she will get super busy as well. So we don't want at this point for the basic, we don't want to get into the basic, like and
Okay.
join a full-time Islamic school and leave our other obligation. That's why I was explaining that
Yeah.
Islam is a priority, but other obligation, if we read into detail, other obligation are also the priority. We cannot forget the other obligations, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I joined the school which allow me to be, which is flexible enough with my schedule,
Okay.
right? So if I have some big difficult exam coming on, I can drop the semester and can join again, like, right? But Al Huda, like I don't think it would allow that way.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's there. You can just investigate. I haven't joined, so maybe I'm not the right person to define Al Huda. I'm only basing my observation with other of my friends who go to Al Huda, and they are very tense all the time and stressed all the time for their studies. While I'm doing the 4 courses and I'm still not tense, like I'm like all I'm tense is like, okay, the one teacher is so good that I'm almost addicted. And it's not only me, other student as well. And they are the young student, like 20-year-old, 23-year-old. And we are just like addicted to that teacher. We just want that class to be like every day, but it's like once a week, right? So we wait anxiously for that class. So it's that good of a school, like Sraj right now. So you can inshallah, once you are ready, you can start at least with the Sraj, and then you will get your direction, right? If you get into like a online difficult university, then you have to study really, really hard. And I'm seeing that you are still taking care of other priorities right now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So inshallah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other question? We might drop the